All right, Red, to close out Black History Month, we have the opportunity to feature Brough Brothers Inaugural Bourbon Whiskey.
I'm sorry. I was just distracted by your shirt.
How are you going to call me out like that? Hey, welcome back to Worth the Dram. I'm Grim.
And I am Red. This is your home for whiskey reviews, brotherly opinions, and not the place to get fashion advice.
What? Come on.
No, you're expanding.
I'm trying new things. And I know this isn't really in my color palette, but...
No, I mean, we're a little bit clashing today.
A little bit,
but
yeah.
Other than that, we're all right. If you're a Denver Broncos fan, I'm sure you're a fan of Grimm's shirt.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Today.
Anyway, so we've been saying all month that we've been trying to get our hands on a bottle of Brough Brothers. Actually, I think we've been pronouncing it Brough Brothers.
Yes. Watched a couple videos, though, and they correct us.
Yep.
Yeah. It was a Sassenach fiasco all over again.
So it is, in fact, Brough Brothers, which should be easy enough to remember.
Yeah.
Brough Bros.
It's based off, we can get into it, but it's based off their last name, Yarbrough.
Yep.
So it makes sense if it's Brough Brothers.
Yeah. So I'm really, really excited to get into this.
Yeah, me too.
The reason being, so Brough Brothers is headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky.
Straight out of Tennessee.
Well, let's take a minute. So we've had this charcuterie board for a couple episodes now. This was actually made by our local craftsman. Astute viewers will notice that it is the state outline of Tennessee with Made in Kentucky stamped in the middle. He made it because there's this running joke that we've had.
Yeah.
Which is why it's hilarious to me, at least, that we're doing a bourbon from Louisville. Anyway, so headquartered in Louisville, Kentucky, straight out of Tennessee. Brough Brothers has actually made history by being the first black-owned distillery to open in Kentucky.
Especially everything that's gone on in the last year. Opening a distillery, starting a new business, kudos.
Yeah, and I think
I can't even imagine what just the fortitude it would take to do that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they started producing in February of last year.
In the U.S.
In the U.S., yes.
Yeah.
So in February of 2020 is when they actually gained approval to start distributing in the United States.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, to a subset of states first.
Yeah, so I mentioned, I think, last episode that, it's a relatively small release. I think there are 10 states, which I'm going to list right here.
Oh.
Where they... I appreciate you, humoring my fourth wall breaks. Anyway, so if I had to guess, because there really isn't, a whole lot of, documentation, or there really isn't any, confirmation as, why newer distilleries release in such a small batch. But if I had to guess, it's because every state is allowed to regulate their alcohol distribution independently.
Yeah.
And it's most likely for tax reasons. Or fees, or...
Those dolphins.
The dolphins. You son of a bitch. Tax purposes. That killed me. Anyway. So, started by three brothers.
Yes.
Victor, Bryson, and Christion.
Yeah.
Yarbrough.
Yarbrough.
That is a killer last name.
Yeah, it really is.
Dude, I gotta add, if any one of you ends up watching this, please let us know if you just walk into a room and be like, "What's up, bro?" When you see your brothers. Because if it were me, I would not be able to pass up that opportunity.
Oh, no, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
We do it already.
We do.
And it's not funny, but...
We. So they established their distillery in the west end of Louisville, which is a historically black neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It actually had the first United States library that was freely open to black citizens.
That's very cool.
That is mind-blowing to me.
Fun fact, that is also the home of Muhammad Ali.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
That's where he grew up.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Which I believe is actually represented here on the bottle, because there's a set of boxing gloves.
There is.
There's a lot of iconography on this bottle that I think is really, really cool.
So, the oldest brother, Victor, is living in the UK and running an alcohol import-export business. So he was importing U.S.-made spirits to the U.K. Mm-hmm. and then exporting mainly hard cider back to the U.S. And he brought his brothers on board, and it was like a family operation. That's where they got the idea. You know, bourbon's having kind of a moment in the U.S. right now, and really across the world.
Yeah.
So why not, you know, hop in, go all in with a family-owned, you know, Kentucky straight bourbon, and you know, get their name out there. So they started the company, Brough Brothers, and started sourcing from MGP in 2019. And actually, their first release was actually in the UK, sold through Amazon. Yeah, because in
Amazon
the UK,
is wildly different over there.
Because in the UK, you can get alcohol through Amazon.
Okay.
So, get on it, US.
I don't even know who to talk to now because Jeff Bezos just stepped down as CEO.
I know, right?
So
who do we? Yeah.
It's probably Elon Musk. I guarantee
Yeah.
he bought it.
Man, you know what? If the whole what was that law in Kentucky where they said distillers can now sell direct?
Yes.
Like,
Just last year?
can they sell direct to Amazon and then Amazon can sell it to me? Because
Well, because then Amazon would be the distributor.
God damn it.
Anyway, so you mentioned that it was an MGP-sourced whiskey starting
Yes.
in 2019 up
Yes.
to most likely this. Actually, yeah, definitely this
Yes,
bottle that we
this
have here.
bottle.
New Year's Eve, 2020, they were finally able to barrel their own distillate
Yeah.
in I think
That's
like
awesome.
5-gallon barrels.
Yeah, I think it was 5 gallons.
Yeah.
what I
Man,
saw.
I'm super excited. Well, granted, I want to try this first.
Yes.
But it's an MGP source, so it's already going to have a certain level of appropriate standard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I'm always going to gravitate towards the distillery crafted whiskeys.
Yeah.
Over MGP sourced.
And they have, you know, estimated put out there, it'll be 2 years before it's ready.
Mm-hmm.
But they may do like a origin cask or an origin release after 1 year, which that would be almost exactly a year from now. But
Yep.
that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So we mentioned February 2020 is when they started releasing in the States.
Real quick before you go on. So again, thank you to our friends of the show, Heather, for
Definitely.
getting this out to us because Arizona sadly was not one of these states that this was released to,
Yes.
but we have friends.
We have friends in high and low places.
I was going to say in other area codes.
Oh, in other area codes. So September 2020 is when Brough Brothers was given license by Kentucky to open their distillery in Louisville. And at that time, they were recognized by the Kentucky Senate as the first African-American owned distillery in Kentucky. They have a 8-foot column still and a 50-gallon pot still, if I'm reading the notes correctly.
We had a different stenographer this time.
Yes, because we did the high proof bourbon and my handwriting got really bad. So they have an 8-foot column still and a 50-gallon pot still. You mentioned they just filled their first 5-gallon barrels,
My eye is twitching and I don't know why.
probably because of the whiskey.
It's usually a lack thereof.
Lack of whiskey.
Yeah.
Starting to get the shakes, are you?
Geez, if any of my managers are watching, just ignore that last sentence.
So just filled their inaugural barrels with plans to continue filling 25 and 50-gallon barrels, aging around 2 years. And then they have plans to contract source other distillate to release another whiskey under the Brough Brothers name. Did we touch on the mash bill?
We didn't.
Do you want to touch on the mash bill?
I will as soon as I find it.
It's on the bottom right. I wrote the mash bill.
That is like
75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley.
I almost got it. I was gonna. It's 75% Carl, 21% rye. I can read 4% Men in Black.
See,
It's perfect. You got it, man.
I do want to note that their MSRP was $29, $30.
So you can pick this up in some states, which are right here.
Whoa.
It's the same states I put up in it. Anyway, so it was $32 on reservebar.com.
Okay.
Plus, I think it's like $10 shipping.
Yeah.
Maybe my ear pop.
But they priced it at that range, so it was available to the most folks because
Yeah.
they wanted to put a product out there that wasn't set at a craft whiskey price. You know what I mean? You're not.
Oh, yeah.
So it was available that anybody can pick off the shelf and have a good pour.
Yep. Which, I mean, I appreciate.
I appreciate that as well. So I feel like I can pick out that high rye. Like if I didn't know it was a 21% rye bourbon.
You know, I'm getting a little bit of like, it's appley, but it's more of like an apple cider vinegar. So it's kind of got that sharp sweetness rather than just like a round sweetness.
Yeah. Now that you said that, my brain just said.
I also, if you remember, when I mentioned in the episode last week, I've been spraying bourbon and apple cider vinegar on my smoked pork butt.
On your butts. Pork butt. And I get kind of that rye spice. I'm not getting a lot of oak or anything.
I get a little bit, but it's real subtle.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think you didn't do your color thing, but it's very light.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is to be expected considering it's a relatively rapidly aged whiskey.
Yeah. I think ABV was 40%? 42%.
I think it's 42%.
It's on the bottle. We can look at it.
41%.
41%.
That's an interesting distinction.
Split the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. That might be our first 41%er.
Yep. Which, I mean, it's going to sip like water after the last bottle that we cracked open.
131 proof.
No, but I got to say, so like that acidity on the nose, actually, I'm into that right now.
There's like you said, like an apple sweetness, and then just a kiss of oak, just like.
Yep.
But then there's like an underlying rye spice in there, and I can't get any more specific than rye spice. I know that can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but there's an underlying kind of in the background of everything else, a spiciness.
So honestly, like I get those, it's not too complex, but right off the top, I get that apple cider, a little florally, and then that oak.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've been talking about this.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about this for a month now.
Cheers.
Real light.
Light. That's a good word.
But it might, that granted, a week ago for you, 20 minutes for us, we had that Stag Junior.
Yes. Oh, I tried to cleanse my palate in between with some pork butt. By the way, I took some pork butt from your fridge.
Okay, when am I going to get the Tupperware back?
I mean, it's back in your fridge now.
Oh, okay. Honestly, as I assumed you would take like one of my daughter's like sippy cups and like stuff it full of pork, sneak it home. We've got plenty if you want to take some, by the way. So, granted, like it sips. Actually, you know what, man, that sips really nicely.
It does. Well, yeah, especially on the heels of 130 proof. But it's light. It's that floral note on the nose, I think, is there in the taste as well. And I think it's being driven by that 21% rye in there.
Yeah. So there are cabinet spices, or baking spices is what you call them. Like that's there. What, are you all right?
I was just letting it sit for a second.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I almost knocked my glass off the thing, though, but I had a mouthful of whiskey, and I couldn't be like, oh, God.
So I'm getting, there are hints of some baking spice. I can't really.
Yeah, especially in the finish.
You're better with the spices than I am. I think I get some of the like the fruitier and the desserty flavors, but the spices, like you're my guy.
Spicy.
Is that ginger spice again?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so like you're my spice guy. Like you're able to pull those out better than I am.
You want spices? I got spices.
I was gonna call you my spicy boy.
Ooh.
Which sounds aggressively sexual. Anyway, so I can't quite put my finger on, but there's some baking spice in there that I'm really digging.
I think. So to me, it comes through as then like almost nutmeg, not quite.
I think we mentioned before that I have no idea what nutmeg tastes like.
It's not quite, and it's mostly on the taste. So you get kind of that sweet floral note. That kind of apple that was on the nose isn't really there in the taste.
See, the fruity flavor, I'm getting those right on the top for me.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's what I'm saying is floral. You're saying is fruity.
Maybe
like,
they're not like really strong, but they're definitely like that's right on the top. Top notes for me are apple, maybe like a softer fruit.
Yeah.
Which I can't think of.
Like a soft fruit.
Soft fruit.
Yeah,
Soft fruit.
soft fruit.
I tried.
Like an applesauce.
Someday, our women are gonna let us air that footage because that's my
Yes.
favorite. We've been doing this for 8 months now, and that's my favorite 40-second segment that you have never seen.
No, it was axed from the final cut.
Yep.
But no, that fruity floral note that's on the front of the palate pairs really well with that baking spice on the back.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a oaky sweetness that bridges the two. So it's a nice journey, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yep.
When you take a sip.
And for a bourbon, it is not overly sweet.
Mm.
It's not actually. Sweetness is actually really, really subdued for this one. But so I'm getting some callbacks to the Willet, but that the bitterness, which is there in this, but
Yeah.
it's at appropriate levels with the
Yeah,
sweetness.
and it's tempered with the sweetness and those other flavors.
Tempered. That's a good word.
Yeah. That's my candy making background.
You make candy?
Huh? Tempered chocolate, man.
Tempered.
We have talked about millionaire shortbread. I don't know how many times on this
Yeah.
channel. You have to temper the chocolate. That's the final layer.
How do you temper chocolate?
You
You
heat
heat
it
it
to the
up?
right temperature.
I was gonna say, do you heat it up and then dip it in oil?
No, you just heat it to the right temperature and make sure it stays there.
Chocolate's not steel. You stick it in a furnace, you will burn it.
Speaking of The Office.
I do want to touch on the iconography on the bottle. I know where you're going with this. So please indulge us.
So the bottle design, Brough Brothers has come out and said that it's really, they wanted the bottle to represent their culture. So
Yeah.
West End of Louisville. So West End of Louisville, will they also grow up? Where they also grew up.
Let's start at West End of Louisville because that was just rah, 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 rah.
And they wanted a bottle design that kind of represented their culture and the things they grew up with in that area of Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
So boxing gloves we mentioned for Muhammad Ali, but there's also bourbon. A couple folks drinking glasses of bourbon on there.
Yep.
Basketball with bro on the back. I thought that was there's a guy in a basketball jersey on the left side, and it says bro on the back.
Yeah. And 3 for the 3 brothers.
Yeah,
I like that.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And then horse racing because it's Kentucky.
Right there, yep.
So why would there not be horse racing?
I like it.
So bourbon, boxing, basketball, Battlestar Galactica. Second glass, 10 minutes. Weird cut.
Yep. Off the hook. Anyway.
What are you, Vanilla Ice from the 90s?
Okay, so at the tail end of our thoughts on the first segment, I said I wasn't getting a whole lot of the classic bourbon,
Yeah.
and then I shot some apple cider vinegar into my mouth, and I'm getting more of the vanilla on the nose now. For the record, we tried my spray for my pork butt.
Yes. 1 part bourbon, 1 part apple juice, 1 part apple cider vinegar. It tasted like apple cider vinegar.
I like it spiky.
Spiky. No,
Did that not taste spiky?
Stag was the last episode.
Okay. Anyway, so either after resting or screwing up my palate.
I get more sweetness than I did on the first.
Yes.
I think the sweetness is amped up a little bit.
But overall, still not overly complicated.
No, I think
Because, like we said, it's an MGP-sourced, relatively rapidly aged bourbon, so it's...
yeah.
There's not... That's a new...
I just invented that right now.
Yeah, stop. I don't trust your grip at all. Here's a supercut of every time Red has dropped something. Never mind. I'm way too lazy to go through all of our footage.
Relative simple nose. I think all the notes that were there before, that kind of appley sweetness, that kind of cider spike,
Yeah.
a little bit of oak, it's all still there. It's just the sweetness is
Amped up.
amped up a little bit, yeah.
Yep.
Wait, let me get,
It's a little bit. It's just like a twist on the dial.
yeah, I'm going to do a grim hand motion, though. It's just amped up,
You did a little... so with your pinky in that position, that really means Like,
okay, it's like amped up. Like
there you
that?
go.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
So it's really the sweetness is really amped up a little bit. I'm gonna go in for it while you're drinking water.
Been a while since you jumped ahead of me there.
You know, after resting, that tastes like straight bourbon for me.
Yeah. With
A rye kicker at the end, but
yep, and I'm still getting that backside of bitterness.
yeah,
Which again, I'm still really liking. I know I've been a little critical of bitterness in the past on this channel, but that's because we've had
bitter batter picked a pack of pickled peppers.
What the hell was I saying? We've had bitter whiskeys that I just didn't really enjoy that much.
Yes.
This one is balanced really well.
Yeah. No. 100% agree.
There's a place for that bitterness here in the glass.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely get almost like a classic bourbon profile, and then at the end there's kind of a rising rye spice as the finish kind of comes out.
Yeah.
Tied with that bitterness.
Super short finish.
Yeah.
At least compared to the stag that we did
It's gone. Yeah, and that's probably
1 week, 20 minutes ago.
1 week and 20 minutes ago. I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy it. It's not super complex,
No.
but I don't think it has to be, especially at the price point it's at.
Yeah. And I mean, we've noticed a few kind of surprising, like fruitier notes for a bourbon.
Yeah.
I say this almost every bourbon episode, that we fall back on the classic bourbon flavors, which is just caramel, vanilla, oak. But these are there, but there's more to the flavor.
You know what this reminds me of? Is that Copper City bourbon we had a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, actually.
Also MGP-sourced. But I don't know that I know the mash bill. Oh, the mash bill is on the bottle. Would you like to know the mash bill?
I sure would.
Copper City. 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley.
Would you look at that? So, I think overall, we might be in agreement here. Let it rest.
Yeah, I liked it better after resting.
Add a couple drops of water. I think that it wasn't drastic, but it was.
No, it just tweaks it a little bit.
It's just what it needed.
Yeah. I definitely like it with drops of water, though.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement on that one. What else have we got?
I think it's...
Pick up a piece of history.
There's a lot of times when craft distilleries come out, new distilleries come out, and they're MGP sourced, and they're priced at $50. They're priced at $60.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's because it's blends with MGP and other stuff. Sometimes it's because they're aging in-house. But this being priced where it's at for what it is, I think it's priced appropriately, and I think really it's, you get to have a piece of history. So
Yep.
for that $30 price range, I think it's, I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I agree.
For sure.
There's nothing I can add to that.
Man, I'm feeling good right now. You want to have a drink?
Yeah, why don't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
What are you thinking, whiskey?
Yeah, I think whiskey will do it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna knock this back.
Well, hold on, I got Copper City.
Don't you fake me out with a fake glass. Anyway, I think we nailed our impressions here. Come on, keep it together, buddy.
I think we nailed the impressions as well.
Yeah, I think so. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Man, that's 2 in a row. I feel like they're pretty good.
That was a good one. But hey, yeah, for a first release, this is a
Oh yeah,
well priced and a very good sipping bourbon.
yeah. If you can get your hands on it, however whatever method you use to get your hands on it, honestly, I think it's worth the pickup. Like you said, it's appropriately priced, and for what it is, it's a decent sipping bourbon.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one that I would actually, you know what? I got that pulled pork that I just did today. This I think be really good with like a smoky barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Obligatory plug.
If you liked what you saw here today, give us a comment down below. Anything you want to try, any questions you may have for us, we are happy to answer them. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We are posting daily on Instagram.
Actually, recently, we have to address this. We just crossed 2,000 follows on Instagram and 300 subs on YouTube.
Yes.
For crying out loud, thank you guys. Like,
Definitely.
it's just, we started this, we were ecstatic to hit 100.
Yes.
And then 250 not a month ago.
Yeah.
Like, our the second milestone.
Yeah. 500's coming up quick at this pace. And I'm very excited. So
500 for our kill home in here.
Yeah.
Man, 100%. Thank you guys. Like, every single follow, we message each other like, hey,
Yeah.
2005, we're 301. We're absolutely floored that you make us feel like we're providing something of value to you folks, and it's just, man, it's.
Somebody commented the other day too that they liked the banter, and that made me feel good.
I know, right? Well, because we've got a couple comments that saying like, hey guys, 25 minutes is an investment. I don't know if I want to watch, but then we get other people like, no, just keep just keep joking with each other. I've said it at every milestone, like, you guys add value to what we're doing, and it's a feeling that it's not something that I've ever prepared myself to describe in how I'm feeling about you guys. I can't describe it. Like, it's just
It's indescribable. Our feelings for you are indescribable. Thank you. Like and subscribe.
All right, I have Careless Whisper stuck in my head now.
Comment down below. Check us out. We have a Discord now, link below.
Yeah, please
check us
join
out
us.
on Discord.
Yep.
Grim keeps posting smoked meats, so I'm going to have to smoke something here soon.
Yeah,
so
you are. It's been a while since you smoked something.
Yeah, well, I do love burgers and chicken and stuff like that, and it's just, I don't feel like that's Discord worthy,
Of course it is.
You know what I mean? Oh, I'll do it.
Dress it
next
up. Look,
time.
any sandwich with an olive on a toothpick,
Yeah?
Discord worthy.
All right. Friend of the show, Mike, gave me this recipe for a smoked nacho cheese with, and I usually use leftover pulled pork or leftover brisket to put into the cheese, smoked cheese.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll make it and I'll post it.
No, bring it here.
I'll do that too. I'll do that too.
Okay.
I did it with brisket last time, and I ate an entire pound of cheese.
Okay, so wild tangent that's impossible for me to edit around. No matter how you like your whiskey, that's the right way.